And then I asked the theoretical questions that led us to move on to the next stage. And so if you're in one of these stages, and I ask those questions, whoa, theoretically, that pushes you through your own thinking process to realize, wait a minute, I can't really believe that anymore. I have to believe what's next. So there's that aspect to this course, is to think that, okay, so if you believe this, here's the question that screwed the minds up of the people that believed that. And here's the answers that came as a result. And if you're going through this process, theoretically, I'm hoping to lead you to the current kind of philosophical position that our educated populace are basically believing, right? So I'm doing the same thing. But I've got a group of people that literally have paid to come here and have me do this to you. Theoretically, it's good for you to become part of that. And I'm a believer myself, because you can see it. It certainly had that impact on me. My whole life, basically, ever since college, those first questions, and I was like, whoa. I became a philosophy major and really, really wanted to know. They led me on that merry way. Here's the next question. Whoa. Here's the next question. Whoa. It just kept going. I'm still reading constantly. But yeah, you end up today, I think, the more refined religious point of view would be I think I've mentioned him already. Miroslav Volf. I think I even gave you the link to a discussion between him and David Brooks at Yale. David Brooks wrote a book on character at the time, and he had written a book on kind of very Aristotelian idea, that of where is it? Interpretation of faith. I guess I have to go to this. So this is the one that I was most impressed by. Remember, Aristotle called it eudaimonia. He picked up on that word and called it flourishing. And basically argues that all of the major religions in the world, the ones who are educated, not literalists, perhaps, but instead, if you look at the major religions in the world, they all lead to the same kinds of conclusions, whether they're Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist. Put them all together in the same room, and they end up concluding that these are the things that religion really offers people, and they're the kinds of things that we need. People need these things. So religion isn't going to go away. The question is, how do we do something similar to really what Spinoza argued, and that is that if you connect religious faith with science, you're eventually going to all essentially believe these same things. So you're kind of weeding your religious belief away from a particular environment, where you really need to believe this kind of stuff in order to cooperate with the environment here. And over here, you believe these things, so there's slight differences. Well, a lot of that is essentially sociology or psychology, or scientifically learning how to cooperate in a particular environment. but you can still think of it as religious because you want to cooperate with your environment. You know, the American Indian beliefs are how do you live here? That was the importance of their religions, was how do you live in this place and get along with these animals and so on. Well, how do we get along with one another? How do we have flourishing for as many people as possible? That's the goal of this. And you do need a meta-narrative. You do need a story that gives us a sense of who we are, what our place is in the universe, and how we maintain that place. What's morally the right things for us to do? What's the purpose of being human? And they certainly approach it from a knowledge perspective, knowing. And knowing God in that sense is knowing things in the universe to the most extreme. How do you do it? Well, back to Hume. Hume gives us how the habits of the mind work. We have associations of ideas. These are mental events, right? How we associate different ideas. I mentioned resemblance. You know, the blue shirt or black shirt, black. How do they all look black? You know, there's certain characteristics in them. When we zero in on what makes them the same, we end up with a physics question like, well, you can't have exactly the same thing in all 3 or 4 places. So what is it then? Well, you go further and you find out, well, you still can't have the same thing, etc. So we don't actually understand how resemblance works for us. It's kind of a math problem. Contiguity in time or place. That's, you know, what makes our minds think that these things are here? You know, I live at Eagle River. We have more snow there, you know, than here, although this is catching up, right? But I think of myself as living in Eagle River, which is roughly 15, 20 minutes away by car. Hell of a long time if I'm going to walk, but by car, I'm, you know, there so quick, I could barely hear a whole classical music piece on the radio, you know, in that short time. Well, I mean, you get the idea, I guess. It's pretty easy to see that the idea that some place is close, some place is far, that turns out to be all mental. Especially when you say, I only know what I know at this particular moment. So cause and effect. Relations of ideas and matters of fact. The intuitive or demonstrably certain things. What's founded on cause and effect. All of this comes only from experience. The mind has never anything present to it but the perceptions, and cannot possibly reach any experience of their connection with objects. It's very, very upsetting, I think, realizing that your sense of self, that I am Bill Jamison, and that I have a history, and parents, and family, and you know, all these different experiences, and that's me. All of that, of course, is based on my memory, and yes, my memory can fail me. Do I remember things that happened exactly as they happened, or do I refine that over time? But even so, I'm not exactly the same person that walked into this room just this morning. Things are changing biologically in my cells. My liver, especially, is being replaced. Isn't that the fastest changing organ in the body, I guess?
It regrows after like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 to 4 weeks, I think.
Just saying, you know. So this is really where the next stage is going to
2 to
take
3
us.
weeks.
2 to 3 weeks.
to restore it to full size, it takes 3 months, but liver function is restored within 2 to 3 weeks, which is crazy. You get a new organ and then you're fine 2 to 3 weeks later. Fine.
That's,
How much is cut off?
Huh?
How much is like cut off for that?
I got a left quadrate lobe, so I got the smaller lobe. So I probably got like, if you look at a picture of a liver, there's a one side that's smaller,
it's the largest.
and then, yeah, it's the largest organ besides the skin over your side. So I got a small lobe, and then it grows back 75%. So you get quite a little, because I was a baby when I got mine. So you get a pretty small liver, and then it grows back. And then someone else got the right lobe, so I have a liver buddy out there.
Whoa.
That's pretty cool. Do you email them?
No, I don't think legally I'm allowed to know who they are. I could ask about
You know
my.
the crazy thing? That's like adoption. You know, we adopted our 4 kids, and they were all secret. You know, and we weren't supposed to know who the parents were, or they weren't supposed to know where the baby went. And you think, you know, of all kinds of things, especially as you get older, the kids want to know who their biological parents were, and you know, and so on and so forth.
I never contacted my donors.
It's just kind of a odd thing.
It's just weird. Like, I don't know you. Your husband probably died, and then I got his liver, and then now it's awkward.
I heard a really dumb joke, and I shouldn't repeat it, but
You should.
I should.
If it's on organ transplantation.
Well, what's the difference? Well, no, it's not. It's what's
Is it
the
a dad
difference?
joke?
What's the difference between a
A hippo and a lighter? Or a hippo and a rhino, one's a little lighter.
genealogist and a gynecologist?
What?
Well, a genealogist looks up your family tree, and a gynecologist looks up your family bush.
Once, actually,
That's not a good joke. I shouldn't tell that, should I?
it's very funny.
Erase that.
Yeah, I like how you post that stuff in there. Hey, this is this, but there's some F words in there. So fast forward to
F word?
minute number 11. Yeah, in your thing for this week, your lecture overused. Fast forward to minute 11 if you're offended by the F word.
Did I use the F word?
No, it's in one of the reference videos that you referenced.
Oh, okay. Well, trigger warning.
Trigger,
Okay.
thank you.
So let's see if I could explain this. And it seems absolutely easy to me, this whole transformation that takes place over these next 3 philosophers, starting with David Hume. So a lot of people feel like it's difficult. Maybe the first part isn't so difficult, but a lot of people act like it's just too confusing. I had the benefit of a teacher that wasn't confused at all and taught us, and you know, it wasn't until later that I discovered other people were confused. You know, so I'll do my best to relay this to you as well. And kind of the easiest way to think about it, I don't know if I could just use the internet for it. So there's the a priori. We've talked about this a little bit because it came up. Aristotle initially, this is Latin, but a priori means the premises, and a posteriori means the conclusion. So it's really just a priori is before, and a posteriori is after in Latin, basically. So there's 2 + 2 = 4. Interesting. So from earlier, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And how does that relate to synthetic? See if it'll tell us. So, I'm not sure if this is going to help, but so what David Hume argues for that destroys, he thinks, the ability of metaphysics to exist is to point out that have a magic marker, but if you think of it as four, a block of four things, I guess I can do it. Magic marker. Been doing it this way for hundreds of